Hello students, in previous part we have seen something about the theory of ADT, how ADT looks like and what are the ADT operations. In this part we are going to study or we are going to practically see how to create an ADT for a rational number and how to define all operations on it and how to write a C code regarding the same. So without wasting much time, let us go to code blocks and let us try coding something. In this, we are going to create an ADT for rational numbers. As we all know that rational numbers is not a primitive data type which is present in C programming. So here we are going to create a new data type by using ADT. So how do you create a new data type? There is a keyword by the name typedef using which we can create a new data type. So now I am going to create a new data type by using a typedef. But what exactly do we expect in this new data type? In this new data type, we know that a rational number looks like of the form a by b or a numerator by denominator. So let us just create something which is a combination of two variables. So what should be used just to create a combination of two variables? Anything can be used. I am using a structure over here because of its simplicity. So let us just create a structure by the name rational. So how do we write it? By using keyword struct rational, just open curly braces over here, put a semicolon after it, and what are the things which we are going to implement in this? We are going to have two variables, int numerator and int denominator. So what exactly is this thing? This is a structure by the name rational which is consisting of two integer variables. First is numerator, second one is denominator. And we have used typedef over here just to define a new data type. So a new data type by the name rational will be created. But as we all know that a structure does not get a memory when it is declared. Then what gets a memory? The instance of structure gets a memory, correct? So typedef will be complete only if I create the instance of this. So let me create an instance of this rational with capital R. So what does this mean? That simply means a rational with capital R is an instance of new structure called as rational, which is comprising of two things, numerator and denominator, as simple as that. Now this is not a pointer instance, this is a simple static instance. So we will be using a dot operator to access numerator and denominator, correct? Now what does typedef tells you about this rational is you have created a new data type by the name capital R rational, and just like you declare any integer variable, float variable, character variable, now you are able to define various variables of rational data type as well, correct? Now let us simply see how rational data types variable can be declared. Just like any integer, we are going to write rational R1, R2, R3 semicolon, save. That simply means that we have created, see there are various warnings, okay. That simply means we have created three variables of type rational. This rational is a data type as we have discussed and declared over here. Now let us just see how, now this is an ADT for rational number. From struct to this rational, this is an ADT for rational number, correct? So we have created an abstract data type. Now just by creating a data type does not is not enough thing. If we create a new data type, we have to discuss three things as we all know: the nature of data, the range of data, and permissible operation. The nature of data we have declared over here in the structure, that my data will be consisting of two integers. The range of data is defined by the primitive data type which we have used over here, integer, correct? So whatever is the range of integer, that same range will be of my rational numbers. Now we have a problem of defining operations. Now how do we define operations? Let us just see how a rational number is read and how a rational number is printed, correct? So just like this, I have declared three rational numbers. Now some of you might have a question, why did I do this thing outside main? I did this thing intentionally outside main because I want this definition to be global. Now why I want this definition to be global is I will be creating various different methods, various different functions, and in those functions I am going to implement this rational thing, correct? So if I declare rational, that is type def or a rational structure within a main function, then it will not be possible to be accessed outside main. So that is the reason I have declared it outside the main, for making it global definition, correct? So let us just see how rational numbers are used. So simply we will ask user to enter numerator and denominator. So we will be writing something like printf enter a first rational number, then semicolon and line scanf. Now we know that a rational number is comprised of two integers. So what I am expecting user to enter? I am expecting user to enter a numerator and I am expecting user to enter a denominator, correct? So I need to read two integer values. To read two integer values, I will be writing %d twice and separated by comma. What I need to write? What I need to read? I need to read numerator as well as denominator. But will this do? No, this won't. Why? Because numerator and denominator are members of structure and they cannot be accessed directly. So what I need to do? I need to access these variable through structure instance. And what are my structure instances? These R1, R2, R3 are my structure instances, correct? So let us just access the first new rational number by using R1. So R1 dot numerator and R1 dot denominator. I am reading these things, correct? Now everybody knows for scanf we use ampersand for reading the things. Sure, I am using the same thing. I will be copying this thing, I will be pasting it over here for second rational number. Enter a second rational number, and for this I am using another structure instance, that is R2. So R1 dot numerator will be accessing the numerator of first rational number, R1 dot denominator will be accessing the denominator of first rational number. Similarly, R2 dot numerator will be accessing numerator of second rational number, and R2 dot denominator will be accessing denominator of second rational number, correct? Now let us just see how these two numbers look like. So for that I need to print them on console, and for printing I use printf function. So printf semicolon, within that I am printing the first rational number is, now I need to print it. So how rational numbers are printed? Some number separated by slash another number, correct? So I am using this format, and what should come in place of first %d? R1 dot numerator, and what should come in place of second %d? R1 dot denominator, correct? Okay. Now by this, by using the same thing, I will be copying this thing, I will be pasting it, and I will be printing my second rational number. The second rational number is, in place of R1 I am using R2, in place of R1 I am using R2. Save. And I am just compiling this thing again. The target is up to date, and just try to run this thing. So enter a first rational number. Let us enter first rational number as 2 as a numerator, 5 as denominator, and in second rational number let us enter 5 as numerator and 7 as denominator. So my first rational number is 2 by 5, my second rational number is 5 by 7. So likewise you can read rational number, likewise you can print rational number. But apart from them, only reading and writing rational numbers will not do. You have to perform more operation on rational numbers as well, correct? So what are the permissible operations which can be implemented on rational numbers? So there are various operations, out of which we are going to work with first 4 arithmetic operations, correct? Now what are those first 4 arithmetic operations? So addition, subtraction, multiplication and division. We are going to work with these 4 first, and then I will be requiring you, I will be giving you assignment to do something for me, correct? So let us just do one thing, let us try to add 2 rational numbers. Now we all know how do we add 2 rational numbers, correct? How 2 rational numbers are added? It is extremely simple. the numerator of first is multiplied with the denominator of second. The denominator of numerator of second is multiplied with denominator of first. These two terms are added, and which comprised of, and this gives result of numerator of resultant rational number. For calculation of denominator of resultant, we do first rational numbers denominator multiplied by second rational numbers denominator. For example, let me give you an example. If my first rational number is 2 by 5 and if my second rational number is 5 by 7, then if I want to add these two numbers, how do I proceed? I will be multiplying my 2 with 7, that is 14. I will be adding that thing with 5 multiplied by 5, that is 25. So what do I get in return? I get 14 plus 25, that is 39 as numerator of my resultant. Correct? Now what if I want to calculate a denominator? To calculate denominator, what do? I simply multiply 5 and 7, denominator of first and denominator of 7. So what is 5 multiplied by 7? It is 35. So 35 is denominator of my resultant. So how do I calculate numerator and how do I calculate denominator? The calculation of resultant's numerator is different, and the calculation process for resultant's denominator is different. I hope we all are basically well versed or familiar with this process. Let us write a code for this thing. Correct? Okay. So for writing a code, what I am doing, I will be creating a method. Correct? Let us give a method, or let us create a method by the name addition. So whenever we work with method, a method works in three parts. A method has its return type, a method has its method name to call, and method has its signature or parameter list. Correct? So in this case, my method name is addition. And what does it take as parameter? It takes two rational numbers as parameter. Correct? So this is how my method is declared, but without return type I cannot declare it. Correct? So I need to give a return type to it as well. So if my method is accepting a rational number, accepting it another rational number, and it is calculating its addition, so what will it return? It will return a rational number. So again, this rational is my return type. Correct? So this is how a method is declared. Now just by declaring a method won't do, I need to define this method as well. So let us just define this method after main. What is written? Rational addition, and now I need to pass two variables. So RATIONAL, rational. Let us keep parameter name, actual parameter name and formal parameter same to avoid confusion. So R1 comma rational R2. Correct? Okay, so this is my method and I am starting with it. So I am now defining a method. Sure. So just by defining a method won't do, you need to give a call to it as well, but we will be calling it afterwards. Let us first define the method. So now in this method, it is getting two inputs, R1 and R2. What is R1 and R2? R1 is a rational number, R2 is another rational number, which is combination of numerator denominator, numerator denominator. Correct? Now what I need to do? I need to calculate the resultant. Addition of these two should be a resultant. No. So declare resultant first, rational resultant. Correct? So this is another variable which is again a combination of numerator and denominator. Now this result or a resultant is categorized in two parts. Which two parts? Result dot numerator and result dot denominator. Correct? Okay. So result dot numerator and result dot denominator. Sure. How do we calculate result for numerator? What is numerator's calculation? To calculate results numerator, what do? First rational numbers numerator multiplied by second rational numbers denominator is added with, this added with what? This added with second rational number's numerator multiplied by first rational number's denominator. Correct? What will this give? This will give resultant's numerator. And how do we calculate resultant's denominator? It's extremely simple. First rational number's denominator multiplied by second rational number's denominator, semicolon. Now what I have done, I have calculated numerator separately and I have calculated denominator separately. Now resultant's numerator and resultant's denominator are defined. What I need to do? I need to return them to a call. So how to return? We will simply write return result. So what will happen? Two rational numbers will be processed by this function, a third rational number will be created and third rational number will be returned. Where will it be returned? It will be returned where its call is made. So let us make a call over here. Now up to this point in main program I have read two rational numbers, correct? Now for this let us call addition function over here for its addition. So how do we call? We simply say addition and pass two parameters. Which are these two parameters? First parameter is R1, second parameter is R2. So whatever parameter I have passed, its addition will be calculated and result will be returned. So whatever I am getting result in, I should be having a container to store it in, correct? So for that I take R3. So what is R3? R3 is a resultant which will store the returned value of your addition function, correct? Okay, so far so good. And if my result has been calculated or not, let us just check over here. So I will simply see something like this, print the addition of two rational numbers is R3 dot numerator and R3 dot denominator, correct? Okay, so save, let us just compile this and let us just try to run this. So it will ask me for first rational number, what exactly did we do? So first numerator was 2, second denominator was 5. So 2 by 5 was my first number. And for second number, numerator was 5 and denominator was 7. So my second number was 5 by 7. Then what I did, I simply called an addition function and I wanted to print its addition. So see, my addition comes as 39 by 35. So far, so good, correct? So this is how we perform or we define operations on it. So in this case, we can simply understand our ADT by this code. What did we do? We created an ADT simply by writing something like this. A structure is declared, that is we have created an ADT. Now this ADT is collection of, as per definition, what is it? It is collection of data and operations. So we are going to give various different operations for this. So for this we have given addition operation, correct? Now if I am giving addition operation over here, then I need to define a method. So I have defined a method called addition which accepts two rational number and which returns a rational number. And then I have defined this method, I have given code to this method in this section where I have calculated the addition numerator wise and I have calculated addition of two numbers denominator wise. And after that I have returned the result. Whatever result I have returned, I have called that in this line number 24, and I have simply printed its numerator and denominator. So far so good. So this thing can be done. Even for printing, you can give another method, correct? Of course, I am going to give you that thing as an assignment after this video. But so far, the ADT, which is called as a collection of data or an encapsulation of data and operation, this can be explained over here, that this is an encapsulation of your data and operation. Let us define another operation. Let us just define subtraction. So sub is the name of my method. Again, what does it accept? It accepts two things. What? First rational number separated by comma, second rational number, correct? This is a semicolon. Why? Because it is only a declaration of a method, correct? Only by passing parameter will not do. Subtraction method should return something. So what should it return? It should again return a rational number, correct? Now we will define subtraction method, correct? So let me just copy this code. I'll simply paste it. I'll simply change the name, subtraction, which accepts two parameters, this, and in place of addition, I'll be putting subtraction and save, correct? And now I need to make a call for it, correct? Now I can give a call directly over here, or I can use a switch case, wherein user will have a facility to choose the operation between addition or subtraction, or multiplication, or division, or display, or reduction, or reducing a rational number. So this thing we will be covering in practical portion. Of course, you are going to write a code for implementation of rational numbers in practicals by writing a switch case to it. But let us just see how things work out simply. So R3 is equal to what? Now we are going to call sub method. So subtraction of these two numbers, R1 comma R2, and semicolon. And after that, simply again copy this thing. I will be pasting this thing, and in place of addition I will be writing subtraction of two rational numbers is this and this. So just compile it and run it. So my first rational number was 2 by 5, second was 5 by 7. So my addition is 39 by 35 and my subtraction is minus 11 by 35. So far so good. Similarly, you can write a code for multiplication. Similarly, you can write a code for division. In main program also you can, of course, in multiplication and division this logic will change. You know how to multiply two rational numbers, you know how to multiply or divide two rational numbers, correct? In multiplication, the numerators of both rational numbers give you the numerator of resultant. The multiplication of denominator of those two rational numbers will give you resultant's denominator. In division, the second rational number is inverse, that is numerator becomes denominator, denominator becomes numerator, and then multiplication is performed. So altogether the writing method or writing a code for rational numbers is not that tedious job, correct? What you need to do, you simply need to write methods and you need to call them in your main. Now while calling also, you can give maximum facility to user. You can use a switch case, you can use a while loop wherein you will be asking user whether you want to proceed or not. According to that y or n character, you will be iterating your loop over and over again, and all those things can be done. So as far as the programming portion is concerned, I will be leaving that programming portion to you. As far as the coding and implementation of ADT is concerned, this much is sufficient. So this is how we can understand how a new data type can be created by writing an ADT, how permissible operations can be written, and how permissible operations can be implemented through functions and through main. So this is how we are going to work with abstract data types. Thank you for patiently listening. We will be meeting again with another example. Thank you.